Dana, at the Nevada Commission hearing on Tuesday, the commissioner said that they could start possibly sanctioning fighters for things that they say before fights and lead up to fights, I guess in response to the McGregor and Khabib stuff. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Can they do that?
I think it's crazy. I think it's insane. I think it's unconstitutional, first of all. I don't think you can legally do that.
Dana White, the no-nonsense, straight-talking president of the UFC, just got cornered by a woke journalist. This wasn't just any interview, it was a setup designed to trip Dana up on the ever-touchy subjects of homophobia and transphobia.
So Stipe Miocic versus John Jones hasn't come to fruition for 272 or 282. What's going on right now with Stipe? I heard last week media was saying that Stipe might never fight again. What's going on with Stipe Miocic right now?
I don't know.
The journalist came loaded with questions, hoping to bait Dana into a PR disaster. But, as you might expect, Dana wasn't having any of it. This guy has taken mixed martial arts from a fringe sport to a global sensation, and he's not about to be muzzled by anyone, let alone a reporter looking for a sensational headline.
Like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
Like...
Free speech. And control what people say?
Dana's eyes blazed with defiance as he shot back. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and believe whatever they want. And he's right.
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of fucking you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit.
The drama kicked off when UFC fighter Sean Strickland, known for his no-filter attitude, went on one of his infamous rants after a match. He made some seriously controversial comments about gender and trans issues, calling out what he sees as hypocrisy and weakness in today's society. This, of course, sparked outrage from the usual woke corners of the internet.
That's true. He might.
That's a true from negotiations you had with him. It might not. He doesn't want to fight no more.
No, No, I didn't say that. You said that.
You kind of said that.
Yeah, I see where this is fucking going. No, I did not say that. Yeah, maybe he won't fight. Maybe he will. I don't know.
So there's a chance Stipe Miocic never fights again and is a fireman.
I have no idea.
So if we
What the fuck are you asking me right now?
Enter the woke journalist. During a post-fight press conference, this reporter decided to go full throttle with some provocative questions, clearly hoping to catch Dana off guard.
I just want to go back. You were talking about, like, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
The journalist started with a loaded inquiry about whether Dana gives his fighters too much freedom to spout off potentially offensive remarks. The insinuation was clear. The journalist wanted Dana to admit he was complicit in promoting homophobia and transphobia by not reining in his fighters.
I'm saying you...
A leash?
like...
Free speech. Control what people say. Going to tell people what to believe. Going to tell people... I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them.
But Dana, true to form, didn't flinch. I don't give anybody a leash, he shot back, emphasizing that the UFC is all about free speech. He made it crystal clear that he's not in the business of telling people what they can or can't say.
What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and they can believe whatever they want.
The journalist, clearly not satisfied, pressed on, asking if the UFC would consider sanctioning fighters for offensive comments, given recent remarks by Colby Covington that some perceived as racist. Dana's response was classic. He called the idea crazy and unconstitutional, pointing out the absurdity of allowing fighters to physically beat each other in the cage, but punishing them for words.
And I don't think there's any... We had two gay women who fought in the co-main event. They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could give a shit what Sean Strickland thinks, or what he says, or what his beliefs are, or what his opinions are.
Throughout the exchange, Dana stood his ground, making it clear that free speech is a fundamental value of the UFC. "You can't tell me what to believe," Dana snapped right back at the journalist. He wasn't about to let anyone dictate what his fighters could or couldn't say.
When the trash talk between Sean and Dreykus got a little dark there with the child abuse and then the brawl at 296, did you ever consider going to those guys and saying, hey, this might be the one time you need to tone it down?
This might be the one time you need to what?
Tone it down, the trash talk?
I don't tell anybody to do anything. I don't try to control any other human beings in any way, shape, or form. They do it this. I say it all the time. We're in the fight business, and
Dana emphasized that he doesn't give anybody a leash, meaning he isn't in the business of censoring his athletes. They can speak their minds, no matter how much it might upset the politically correct crowd.
They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could give a shit what Sean Strickland thinks, or what he says, or what his beliefs are, or what his opinions are. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What do you got?
Dana's stance on free speech isn't just about letting fighters talk trash. It's rooted in traditional American values.
I think it's crazy. I think it's insane. I think it's unconstitutional, first of all. I don't think you can legally do that. These guys get into a cage and they punch each other in the face. They can knock each other unconscious. They can choke each other, but they can't say mean things to each other.
The First Amendment guarantees the right to free speech, and Dana believes this extends to every aspect of life, including the UFC.
It's pretty ridiculous.
And then just for Pedro, just make sure you're awake back there.
He's argued time and again that freedom of expression is a core value that should be protected, even in the face of controversy.
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and they can believe whatever they want.
One of Dana's most iconic statements on this issue came during a press conference when he was asked about potentially sanctioning fighters for their comments. "It's insane. It's unconstitutional," he said bluntly.
And I don't think there's any... We had two gay women who fought in the co-main event.
These guys get into a cage and punch each other in the face, but they can't say mean things to each other? His point was clear. The UFC is a place for raw, unfiltered expression, and he's not about to let political correctness dilute that. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.